everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time reviewing on The Amazing Spider-Man issue 700. Now, as you know, this issue leads up to Superior Spider-Man, where eventually Doc Ock transferred his mind to Peter Parker's body during a mind swap. And the cover is meant to be a reference to issue 400, which is a fourth variant. And the story mainly starts off how basically Doc Ock is now in Peter's body, him and MJ are watching TV, and basically after getting a distress call from about Doc Ock, he basically checked some research and found out that Doc Ock's now dying and basically is going to come after him, which is meant to be Peter Parker. So pretty much Doc Ock comes up with a elaborate plan to go to Belgium and says, "When will you be returning?" "Round trip tomorrow." And pretty much plans to set his life out. So it's also shown at Doc Ock's secret lair, where Peter Parker as Doc Ock has gathered Trapster, Hydro Man, and Scorpion after breaking them from prison. And basically, after getting him back up and running, and due to Trapster's mishandlement on the equipment, he basically ends up transported to heaven, where he sees people like Dwarf, Nathan, also Timothy, and so on. And so he meets all the people he's met, all the life he's had, and keep in mind Silver Sable and Rhino were later revealed to be alive, and it's kind of implied that this is Peter's subconsciousness, or Doc Ock's. And so he meets his parents, as well as meeting Uncle Ben, with Uncle Ben saying that, you know, what happened to you wasn't right, and you can't go just yet because of what Doc Ock's done. And so, after basically coming back alive after a few minutes, he gets the equipment he needs, and pretty much at the raft, Jameson is talking about who's escaped and that, but turns out Alistair Smythe is still alive. Even Jameson's annoyed by the press and that. So basically, after Jameson calls Doc Ock a loser, which you can tell Doc Ock, Peter is a bit more annoyed, and pretty much sees that the flight's going, but comes up with an elaborate plan. So Peter Doc Ock basically breaks into the police station, even finds the storage room for the villain's weaponry, and gets the kind of device that the mind swap was used for. Charlie basically holds Doc Ock, Peter at gunpoint, and even asks a question, which he tries to say that, you know, I'm Spider-Man and that, but Charlie is quick to guess that Doc Ock's playing tricks. Bullet ricochets off Doc Ock's arm, which Doc Ock Peter tries to fix and leave off. And of course, Doc Ock Spider-Man is able to manipulate everyone of Peter's friends and family to think that Doc Ock's coming for revenge, and is able to get everyone to kind of come into one building, and says that Peter's basically in Belgium now. So pretty much at Doc Ock's location, which is in a junkyard, Doc Ock Peter basically says that he's pretty much called the anti-Spider-Man force and are going to deal with him. So they pretty much send Scorpion and Hydro Man, despite his warnings of not leaving anyone dead, and basically getting the wrong idea. And after Scorpion and Hydro Man beat up the villains, I mean basically the Spider Force, and basically Trapster starts to figure out what's really going on and traps him, they quickly leave in their escape boat, which they find basically Trapster tied up, and Jameson pretty much has done some checks that Peter's alright, and basically is proud to have Aunt May as his new mum. And so you've basically got Doc Ock Peter working on his tech, while MJ pretty much talked to him about, being opened up and everything, and if this is going to be the last battle and that. So eventually they do kiss, and so Doc Ock finds a way to get in Avengers Tower, and basically the villains call him out on this. And eventually it turns out that Peter wanted to use this to show the Avengers what's really happened, so Doc Ock Peter manipulated the events and everything to kind of prevent it from happening. So they pretty much send the other two villains after him, and Doc Ock Peter tries to take him down despite little success. Even Max Modell and his Rising Staff used a kind of watering device to absorb Hydro Man. Scorpion tries to go for Jameson and his family, but Jameson says to go after him instead because he's responsible for his transformation. And pretty much Scorpion takes down, Spider-Man takes down Scorpion and has memories of Peter Parker, which is going to play a crucial part, and ends up taking off Scorpion's jaw. And so Doc Ock Peter is disgusted at what he's done, despite the fact he was a villain, and tries to use basically impact webbing on his friends, but ends up basically falling down and finds a way to kind of use the impact webbing to make a special big air cushion, and so uses the Doc Ock bot to kind of transfer his other memories into basically Doc Ock, which pretty much Peter says that, these are my memories, you have to live with them. And he remembers every happy moment, every painful moment from the death of Gwen Stacy and that. And even says he doesn't want this, but knows he's gonna be Spider-Man. And pretty much after this, Peter Parker dies, leaving Doc Ock to mourn Peter Parker, and Doc Ock finally accepting that he's now going to be the superior Spider-Man, ending the story. So I know a lot of people hate Superior Spider-Man, but I think this issue does give a good send-off. It kind of makes you feel that Doc Ock was always meant to be Spider-Man, but the way they handle it in Superior Spider-Man makes him a Mary Sue. I think this issue does do a bit of a good job, so thumbs up. Comic Reviewer here, signing out.